Nomination has always been very important everywhere. But today we want to look at the name in Igbo society of Nigeria. And we know that, first of all, at the pre-colonial period, people got names that were in Igbo, their language. And there is no really a distinct separation between what you may call family name and first name. For example, the name Ugochukwu, that's my name, can also be a first name for many people. So there is no distinction. What is important is what it means, the meaning of the name. At the pre-colonial period, everybody had an Igbo name. Then the colonials came, and when they were baptizing children or adults, they forced them to take an English name because that was acceptable by the church at the time. So you notice that people that were born during the colonial period always have a first name that is English. For example, Emmanuel Obiechina, Clifford Ugochukwu. But their second name always was an Igbo name. My husband is Clifford Nwokeke. Nwokeke means Nwokeke. That's the child born on Eke Day, the equivalent of Sunday for Christians. And then there was an evolution. The people that were university dons, researchers, highly educated people, after the independence, decided to erase their first name, their English name. So many of them removed their first name to popularize their Igbo name on their publications. That's how you explain that you have the first name being just a letter, like I, and then the Igbo name being spelled in full. And when people are born, when children are born, the family is allowed and entitled to give their own name. For example, when our first child was born, he was called Chiagozie, God has blessed. But the uncle decided to call him Uzochukwu, that's the path of God. And then when the people grow and become fully fledged adults, they get a salutation name. For example, my husband is Chinemelu. That's the child to whom God has done well. My salutation name is Dibagogo, that is, husband is a feast. It's a joy. And those salutation names are mentioned when you meet the person, or after food, you greet the person with their salutation name. Nowadays, you find that people that are in the diaspora struggle with names. For example, in the UK, if you tell them that your name is Ugochukwu, Ugo they can manage. Chukwu is difficult because KW doesn't exist as a combination in English. So many people, what they do is cut their name short and answer Ugo. It doesn't matter what follows. What follows is just for their paperwork, their documents. But in day-to-day interactions, they are all called Ugo. Some others resort to another way. What they do is give their child the translation, the English translation to their Igbo name. For example, Anurika will be called Joy. So they will be known by the name Joy. And only the family and close circles, we know that their name is Anurika. So it's easy. And some people even take their Igbo name and make it pronounced differently. For example, somebody called Chike starts answering Chike, which is quite strange for an Igbo person. But for the English, it's just acceptable. Anything goes, provided what you see is something you can accept. So the name is important. And many youngsters now, the new generation is often called different things, like Okwukwe is now called faith. Ngozi is called blessing. And it's quite common among Igbo people because they are very adaptable. And so they enjoy fitting the best way they can into the environment. But all this should not make us to abandon our roots, our names, our language, because this is where we come from.